Okay. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 325. Yes, the first anime review series to reach this episode. Now, this episode is not adapted for the manga, and yet it's part of the Wano arc. And you're thinking, wait a minute, has this happened before? Yes. Did it happen with Whole Cake? No, it did not. Did it happen with the Reverie? Well, they mixed the anime original content with, of course, basically that for the manga. But this is the first time an actual anime original episode that it's part of an actual arc. First time in a long time. I think the last official this happened, off the top of my head, was probably post Innie's Lobby. That was the last known official time this has happened. And if you're really curious, post Innie's Lobby, that arc came out roughly, good gosh, like 15 years ago. So this was technically the first time in 15 years we had an anime original episode that's part of an actual arc. That it's not like in the middle of a story arc to have a fill-in something. Because what happened after Water 7? After Innie's Lobby? Well, it was Thriller Bark next. After that, it was... Well, after Thriller Bark, then it was Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down. I don't think Amazon Lily had any original stuff. No, I think it was about the same length as the actual stuff. I don't think it was any original content there. Let's see. There was To the Bark, Sabaody, Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Marineford, Post War. Then it was Punk Hazard. Actually, first it was Return of Sabaody. Then it was Fishman Island. Punk Hazard, Dressrosa. There have been filler arcs in between, but not like during the actual arc itself. Though this is the penultimate story because if I read the very next episode is the last episode of this arc. So what happened this episode? Well, episode starts with Luffy in the area on the mountain, and he's in Curry. He's basically on the mountain that was basically where the ruins of Owen's castle was. Basically, we see... Now, this is the first time he's been here since the opening episodes of this very arc. Yeah. Which, by the way, that was 4 years ago. Thinking, really? Yes. This arc is going on now for 4 years. June 2019. That was the very first episode that's for this very arc. So, and then we see the remaining scabbards, with the exception of Kinemon, all basically mourning, kind of seeing, Odin, of course, the chat with him about, the country's not free now. Orochi and Kaido are gone. Orochi's dead. And in the case of Kaido, he is in lava. Unknown if he actually is dead. They never confirmed he actually is dead. It stays unknown. Could he come back? Highly doubt after that big defeat. So then we cut to Zoro. Well, basically, he's also there. Chopper, Brooke, and Nami. And then, of course, basically, Kara shows up. Basically tells, she's going to take over the Mink Dundam, which this was never mentioned in the manga, which I appreciate the fact the anime did throw this in here. So, I think I grew to Nami, to Chopper, to Brooke, and of course to Luffy. And then right after this, we see Zoro where he is, well, I've seen this a few times in anime where a guy pours drink over someone's grave. This apparently is a Japanese tradition. And it's the graves of Pedro and Yosuke. Now, Yosuke is somebody Zoro did interact with a good amount for this arc before he was killed by Orochi. Pedro, he interacted with a little bit during Zou, but he did appreciate him as a swordsman. So, he probably was shocked as everybody the fact Pedro even died. So, here he is, basically just having a drink, and of course, when he has sword next to him. And then we have Tama and Hiyori show up, and of course, they have a pretty polite conversation. In fact, this was last to see Enma. And right after this is basically we see the pink hair girl who Sanji saved during the events of the raid. And then, like, oh, he's having a sopa shop. And of course, basically, like, it's hinted that she might have a thing for him, but it's never really developed at all. Because of the fact he saved her life, the fact he's like playing with her rat, which is actually her mouth was coming out of her chest. Well, actually, in the top of her outfit, which is basically in between her breasts. And she's like blushing like he's like really close. So then, of course, you have Robin and Brooke show up, not in Wano garb, mind you. Like, all about, goes like, Robin-chan! Yeah, because he's closer with her than he is with Nami. So, it appears very sober, of course, she smiles, and that's all I see with her. It's almost like, basically, like, the way the anime sets it up here, it's almost like she really wants to see him again. Like, maybe she's in love with him. It's implied, but it's never stated. No, that's not that one. I'm trying to find her name here, excuse me. Nope. Nope. Huh. Doesn't have her name here. Let's see if I can find it here. I'm trying to find it here. Let's see. This might help me. Okay, her name is Somi, and she appears in this. Yeah, that's her name, Somi, and her mouse is Jochi. Juji. Yep. Yeah, it's hinted. Yeah, it's very much hinted the fact this woman basically may have a thing for Sanji, but it's never really developed at all. I kind of wish basically they would have done something here, like maybe the anime hit a little bit more. Maybe she's attracted to him, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe she'll sneak on board the ship. That might be possible. There's nothing said she didn't. And then, of course, basically, we also see, well, not much for, and here's the strange thing, though. It's been like Robin and Brooke appear in the episode. They didn't really much do anything. And the one character who's absent in the Straw Hats is Jinbei. Yeah, Jinbei's absent. For no reason. I'm not sure why. I think he's seeing flashback, but he's not seeing present day. I'm not sure why. So after the Sanji scene, and then we see, let's see, what was next? Of course, also Chopper saying goodbye to Mogi and Tristan. I think what else was up here. Trying to think it's been a bit to watch the episode. Oh, I remember correctly. They cut back to the docks where we see Frankie saying goodbye to the carpenter mentor he had in Wano. Or apparently he's mad at him because he couldn't leave anything from the fix. We also see Chopper giving Beppo a drug. Yes, this actually is canon, by the way, this scene. And you're thinking, how is this one scene canon of this whole episode? Well, this something was mentioned later on. It was brought up basically again, this special drug. What is the drug developing? From what I've read, it was actually to help Beppo to use Sulong. Yep, something he would use later on. So that here, and of course, everybody's getting ready to go. Oh yeah, there's also this wonderful scene of Luffy and Tama revisiting Osaru, who's Kinemon's wife, which even Kinemon points out, though, that his wife still looks good at the age of 40, which, that's not surprising. Women at the age of 40 times still look pretty good for their age. So, he's probably thinking maybe he have some kids with her. Who knows? I mean, he's the only one of the retainers who actually is married. He's the only one. Isn't that surprising? Not even Kiku is married. So you have Tama in her new ninja garb just eating like red bean soup, something. This is sort of a follow up to the start of the episode, so you eat it again. An absolute great scene. Of course, you see Luffy saying goodbye to Tama. Tama's chick is stronger. Of course, Zoro did the same thing with Emma. And that's the episode. Absolute really good episode. Now, could next week's episode be the official finale? There's nothing says it can't be. Or they can probably squeeze it out a tad bit longer. I was reading that apparently before they changed the Wiki site that the next episode could be the finale of the Wano arc, but if I were the anime, I would stretch his arc out like before it gets to the ending. Just a little bit longer, and I would also do those two adaptations, especially since, well, here's kind of an interesting thing. Those two stories that I mentioned, the Game Bench on Family and the Emotions Incursion, stuff in those cover stories do affect the present day stuff, like the Game Bench stuff and the Emotions Incursion. I think these two should be adapted. How many episodes take up? My guess is, presumably, given the fact the last time I did one of these things, probably at least, in the case of the first one, 2, maybe 3 episodes. And they don't kind of the same thing because that cover story introduces a character who plays a role in Egghead. So, I recommend to Toho, please adapt Game Bench and Emotion Incursion before you do Egghead. Because they play a role, and plus the follow-ups with a couple things from Whole Cake. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly it, particular view. Next up we have My Hero Academia and then a Comic Corn, and after that I'm going to work on Case Closed. And there'll be an announcement of Case Closed with that one. Okay, next video. Bye.